Welcome to Campus Conversations, brought to you by UCL Student Success Team, your go-to podcast for all things student life at University College London. We're back for season 2, and today we'll be talking about gender, identity and equality. I'm Hafsa and I study first year law.
I'm Brandon and I study first year chemical engineering.
I'm Lucia and I study first year of history and politics of the Americas.
So we've got some questions here to go through. The first one is, Reform UK MP Sarah Pochin sparked controversy after saying on Talk TV that she is driven mad seeing adverts full of black people, full of Asian people. Many have condemned her remarks as racist. However, some have pointed to figures suggesting that minority communities are, in fact, overrepresented in the media. What responsibility do media have in representing diverse identities? What do you guys think?
Want to start?
Well, I think it's very interesting because personally I don't think that ethnic minorities are overrepresented, but I think that sometimes they can be representing characters that they shouldn't be representing. And, you know, shout out to Disney, but I don't think there's anything wrong with representing more of it because for a long time, right, there wasn't a lot of like black people or Asian people in Hollywood. We've only seen a lot of that starting like the 2000s, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think that someone can actually be overrepresented, especially if you're from a minority, because most of the time in most countries your voice is just not heard because you're not as important as everyone just because of your race, your religion, your skin color. So you just seem like you're inhuman just because you're different from everyone else. So like I don't think the media, by just portraying what's happening in the world, that there is a diversity, is like something bad. And to be fair, Reform UK, like they are known for saying those sort of stuff because they just hate immigration, full stop, and they don't want immigrants in this country, when that shouldn't be fair on the people that are here and that they are working legally on the basis of just earning a better life.
What do you think?
I think also, I feel like, just like you said, minorities already have such a struggle just existing and being heard. I feel like everyone, I feel like even me, sometimes I have to really put myself out there to get my opinion just heard as everyone else is there. But it's really important that you see yourself represented because you're having already that struggle in daily life, feeling like you're not as important as others. But if you see yourself in the media, there's someone just like you, there's someone who's able to get their name out there, who's able to, or even just like in an advert, like everyday life, I feel like that can make a huge difference. Just one, like seeing someone who looks like you on a big screen can make a huge difference to your self-esteem, and it can empower you to maybe like put yourself out there more and get your voice heard. So I think it's really, really important.
No, yeah, I agree. Like, for example, my parents migrated from Spain to here like 5 years ago, roughly. So, like, it was quite a big change because, like, we didn't know the language. And, like, it's hard to, like, learn and begin something in a new country. When the country you're from, you had everything. It's just that you were striking. For example, my dad came here just because he thought that he could find a better life for me. Because, like, he saw, oh, like, universities in Spain are, like, not the best. Because, like, no one guarantees you jobs and stuff. So he came here, he was all alone. He didn't have anyone. He just had to, like, make his life for himself. And it was, like, very hard. But, like, I feel like, yes, seeing someone can actually inspire you and be like, okay, this is a reason to wake up every day and to, like, keep fighting for, like, the people you love.
Do you guys think there should be an expectation or a quota to represent diversity?
I think there should be. And I think in a lot of places or systems there already is. Like, for example, UCL is very diverse. You know, like, if there's not much Asian people in this specific course, then there might be, like, some stigma or, like, some hatred or something like that. So I think it's good that there's, like, okay, there should be a diverse community here.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the only quota that you have to say is that you should respect everyone's culture. And, like, you should try to, like, spread it so like everyone recognizes it, but like you're not trying to like impose it on anyone or saying, oh yeah, my culture is just better than yours because of XYZ. I don't think that's the way you should be, and I don't think media should like take that stance. It's more of like just showing you are not just an isolated country, like there is a world around you.
I felt very inspired on my first week because I went to the Philippine Society, and there was just so many like people that look like me. I don't like saying that, but that was the first time where I saw that, yeah, like I'm not as much of a minority as I think I am. Like there's a lot of people like me. Because when I was in like secondary and sixth form, I was the only one that's Filipino, even though I was in London. So yeah, I think UCL does a great job in having a diverse community.
I was just going to make a point on this. I feel like UCL is really good with how many societies they have. Like, obviously, there's cultural minorities, but then other things like interests where you feel like maybe there aren't many people like you. Because that can be a big thing. Interests are a really big part of who you are and the things that you engage in. And there's really something for everyone. And I feel like that's, like, even me, there's certain niche interests. And even just my culture, like being Pakistani, I feel like I don't really meet many people who like weren't. I did grow up around a lot of brown people, I guess, in my school, but not as many people who were born there and then came here. A lot of them were born in England. But coming to UCL, because there's so many international students as well, and obviously going to these society things, I meet so many people who look like me and they had similar experiences growing up, and it's been really good for me. I really liked it.
Yeah, I agree. Like for example, for me, I've been living here for 5 years. Like I feel like I kind of fit in more than I used to, like at the beginning, but I still like to go to like Spanish societies. Like I'm discovering like I went to Mexican society. It's amazing. Like I had so much fun. I'm not Mexican. It's just like get to know them more.
Yeah.
Because it's like a very similar vibe, and I think that's what you have to do to like get a sense of like other people, to like broaden your understanding and your beliefs and stuff. So like I go there and I'm like, I see, because like they had a very similar childhood that I do. And it's not like I'm alienated like I used to before. Like for example, even with just like simple stuff of like, oh, what did you watch when you grew up? Like for example, everyone will be like, oh, I watched this, this and this, and I'll be like, I have not a clue what that is. I was not here. And they'll be like, oh, wow, amazing. So like I didn't really think that I fitted in. So it's nice like be with people that like have the same experiences as you do.
So, conversations about the health of boys and men has increased this year, with influencers like Andrew Tate still popular and with the release of hit Netflix show Adolescence. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has warned that young boys are being sucked into a dangerous world of toxic masculinity online and has framed it as both a policy and moral issue. Do you guys think that masculinity is in crisis or that it's just evolving? I feel like you're a good place to
You're a
start.
good place to start, yeah.
Okay, I want to ask both of you, what do you think toxic masculinity is? Like, how would you define it?
I feel like generally it's when regular human reactions and behaviors become like discouraged in the name of masculinity, like crying and like compassion, all of those things.
No, yeah, I do agree with what you said. And I feel like it tends to be quite negative, or like saying like stuff like, or you shouldn't be doing this just because of your gender, because traditionally that's not your role, or like what historically has been. So like you're just classified as like something different that has to be changed, and like you have to behave like a normal man should behave.
Toxic masculinity, I think, is very subjective. I think people can see something that's related to masculinity and they can say that's toxic. Or some people might say that's not toxic, that's actually healthy. So I think that masculinity is actually both in crisis and also it's evolving. I think that it's in crisis because people don't have a specific definition of what it means to be masculine. Like, for example, crying as a man, I think that's totally fine. Like that's good because you're expressing your emotions. But it's not okay to normalize, I don't know, sexualizing women like that. Boys can be boys and it's attached to those kind of deeds. So I think we need to, I think people need to have a more, I think people need to like kind of explore it more. That you don't have to just see masculinity as fully bad.
Men and boys aren't given enough space to really explore who they are and what they like and what they want to do and how they want to behave. And there's just a lot of standards imposed on them by their friends. I don't think it's the fault of women. I feel like that's where the problem comes in, where they start blaming it on women and like gold diggers and stuff. I don't think it's a woman's responsibility to teach a man what's right and wrong and like teach him who he is. So I do generally think that just the environment that men grow up with in, I feel like they're not given enough space to really discover who they are. And that's where I feel like a lot of issues come in.
I think that men generally are just more prideful. I think they're just more like, okay, I got this. You know, when most of the time, I think it's okay to get help. I think one of the characteristics of being masculine is being a leader. And people think that being a leader means being independent, when it's not. Being a leader means that you're leading people, but it also means that you're being led by people above you.
Generally, if we were all a bit more open, I feel like it's more of like, this I do think is a societal issue. I feel like it's coming, like we're all a bit more, I don't want to use the word deceitful, but I feel like everything is a bit more like wishy-washy and no one is really direct with each other, and there's this like a bit of an obsession with being cool and like nonchalant and like the whole thing of like situationships, and you never really know how someone else is feeling because you're not like willing to let them know. I think we need to lean more into being more vulnerable with each other and not expressing any judgment or like feeling like we're doing too much. We've got a new segment this year that we like to end the show with called Campus Confessions. On this card we've got a confession from a student that we'll discuss and give our opinion about with no judgment. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
So the confession is, am I a bad person for using the system to my advantage? I'm a woman of colour and whatever additional opportunities are available to me, I'm going to take. I don't care if people see me as privileged or as having an advantage. I know I work hard, and after all, things are so unequal in society. England needs more of me.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that because it's opportunities at the end of the day. You're not stealing someone else's rights or opportunities. You're taking what's yours, and they gave it for a reason. So that's just me. What about you?
I think people of colour and women of colour especially have a tendency to self-select and feel like they're not worthy, just because I feel like opportunities don't come to them as much. And I feel like it's really important to acknowledge that, like you said, you deserve this, and it's just an opportunity that you're taking. You know, you're not pushing anyone out of the way, and you, as a person of colour, you deserve it as well. I feel like it's important to remember that. I feel like we shouldn't be as, because sometimes I feel like that too, like, oh, I feel like an opportunity fell into my lap. Oh my gosh, like, am I a bad person? Like, am I really privileged? And although I am, I think it's important to note how we struggle so much, and these opportunities are harder for us to come by as people of colour. What do you think?
I agree with both of you. I feel like because the way politics is now, like for example with Reform UK and with Trump, they all just think, oh, they're immigrants, they're just stealing our jobs. But realistically speaking, and looking at stats, those immigrants are taking the jobs because the people in that country, they don't want to take them. So like someone has to fill in that gap. And I feel like for taking an opportunity that you worked hard for, and like you are just there, like you enjoy it and you try to like earn a better living for yourself, like what's wrong with you just taking that opportunity? Like I completely agree. She's such an icon.
She is. I love her.
So confident.
Thanks for tuning in to Campus Conversations. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did chatting. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe on our various podcast streaming platforms. The link is in the bio. We'll be back again with more stories, ideas and debates from across UCL, exploring the people and perspectives shaping our university and the world. Until next time on Campus Conversations.